எல்லாம் வல்ல விநாயகப் பெருமான் கையடியார்களே, விநாயகப் பெருமானுடைய ஆலயத்திலே இன்றைய தினம் நால்வருடைய வழிபாட்டு நிகழ்வுகளிலே முதலாவதாக இன்றைய தினம் திருநாவுக்கரசர் சுவாமிகள் அவர்களுடைய குரு பூஜை உற்சவமாக இன்று நிறைவேறி இருக்கின்றது. பொதுவாக சரியை வழிபாடு, கிரியை வழிபாடு, யோக வழிபாடு, ஞான வழிபாடு என்கின்ற வழிபாட்டு முறைகளிலே திருநாவுக்கரசர் சுவாமிகள் கையிலே உலவாரம் வைத்திருந்து சரியை தொழிலை முன்னிலையாக நிறுத்தி இதை பெயர் பெற்றவர். அந்த வகையிலே எங்களுடைய ஆலயத்திலே இந்த திருநாவுக்கரசருடைய குரு பூஜையானது முதலிலே குரு பூஜையாக ஆரம்பத்திலே இருந்து செய்து கொண்டு வந்து அதன் பிறகு பன்னிசை படித்து அந்த பன்னிசையை திருவிழாவுடன் சேர்த்து அந்த திருவிழாவை சிறப்பிப்பதை விட முதலிலே பன்னிசையை படித்து அனைத்து மாணவர்களும் தயாராகிய பின்பு அதன் பிறகு நால்வருடைய பூஜைகளை செய்வது சிறப்பான விடயம். அந்த வகையிலே லூசியம் சிவங்கோயில் ஆஸ்தான ஓதுவார் அவர்களுக்கு எங்களுடைய ஆலயம் சார்பாக நன்றிகளை தெரிவித்துக் கொண்டு அவருடைய சீடர்கள் இந்த பன்னிசை பாக்களை ஒவ்வொரு ஆலயங்களிலும் சிவராத்திரியிலே கூட படித்து வருகிறார்கள். மிகச் சிறப்பாக அந்த திருப்பணியை அவர்கள் செய்து வருகிறார்கள். அவர்களுக்கு இன்றைய குரு பூஜையின் பலன் சேர வேண்டும் என்று விநாயகப் பெருமானுடைய பாதார விந்தங்களை வழங்கிக் கொண்டு தொடர்ந்து திருநாவுக்கரசர் சுவாமிகளுடைய சிறப்புகளையும் அவருடைய பதிகங்களையும் அதற்கான விதிகளையும் எடுத்துக் கூறுவதற்கு கலாநிதி சிவகுமார் அவர்கள் வந்திருக்கிறார்கள். அவர் இப்பொழுது அது சம்பந்தமான செய்திகளை வழங்கி அதுடன் பன்னிசையையும் இணைந்து இசைய நீங்கள் அனைவரும் இருக்கிறார். பார்வதி கதையே
சீதர் கடவர் செந்தாமரைக்கும் பாதச்சிலம்பு பல இசைப்பா. Friends, ladies and gentlemen, I have been asked to say a few words in English so that many of the people who do not understand Tamil and even those children who may not be very fluent in Tamil can follow the proceedings. I hope you don't mind. I will certainly mix both. What I hope to do in the few minutes that have been allocated to me is to give you some introductory remarks about Thirunavukarasar, whose Guru Poojai we are celebrating today. I give you a very brief life history because, like many people today, it's not simply learning facts about Thirunavukarasar, but actually learning the lessons that he experienced and told us that we should experience that too in our devotion to Lord Shiva. So rather than simply a list of facts, I would discuss, if I can, and I notice there are authorities here. I'm no authority on this subject, but I will come forward to do this as part of our Thevaram group. So bear with me if there are mistakes, and I would love to learn from you if there are any major corrections that you want to make. So basically, after giving you the brief life history, I would highlight certain important aspects and then talk about the characteristic features of this saint which we see in his idol, and then the lessons for us, as I mentioned, and then the Thevaram group will sing some of the songs and we will try and explain the meaning of those songs so that again we can take some lessons from them. As many of you know, when you think of Thirunavukarasar, we think about few particular characteristics of the person. We think about the degree of affection, anbu, his devotion to God, unwavering devotion to God, his attachment, his affection. When I say attachment, not a worldly attachment, but a genuine affection to his sister, who was responsible for his reconversion to Saivaism. To his devotees, how he treated them, and to various blessed souls. Thirunavukarasar, who he met 3 times, I think, and various other souls such as Appudi Adigal, Naminandi Adigal, Murugan Nayanar, and so on. So he was fortunate to meet these blessed souls, and he would share his devotional feelings with them. So apart from the devotion and the affection, the other thing that stands out in his life, his service. His service to humanity in many forms. His service to humanity in the form of encouraging them to pray to God and seek salvation. Wherever he went, he traveled very widely, and I will touch on that in a second. And you will see, when you look at his statue very closely, there is something which is very prominent. He carries a hoe, an ulavaratade. So he not only believed in inner cleanliness, but he also believed in external cleanliness, and he went from temple to temple, singing these devotional songs, encouraging people to join him. At the same time, he encouraged the devotees to keep the premises clean, and he would take the hoe wherever he went and clear up all the bushes and the weeds that have grown there, which was an important service. And if you hark back to his origins, he was born to an agricultural family, and that may have been the background to this. But it was a good habit which he not only practiced but also inculcated in others. A good example in this day and age too. Apart from that, these environment today, and he was very conscious of that too. We talked about the Panchabhutas. He sings about the Panchabhutas. And we neglect the elements. As you know, in Saivaism, we worship the Akasa in Chidambaram, Lord Shiva as the Akasa in Chidambaram, as water as Apulingam in Thiruvananthapuram, as Jyotirlingam in Thiruvannamalai, as Katu in Kalahasti, and Man or Prithvi as Kanjipuram or Thiruvalur. So all these elements are represented in our religion in the form of Lord Shiva. And what he says is, safeguard these aspects of our environment. Otherwise, they will come to you like a huge force that attacks you. Padaigal pol varum panchamapurangal. நடையே மெய் என்று வாழ்க்கையை நடத்தி கொண்டு போக வேண்டாம். சாதாரண விஷயங்களிலே மனத்தை செலுத்தி இப்படிப்பட்ட உன்னதமான கருத்துக்களை உணராமல் அன்றாடம் எங்களுடைய பஞ்சமூலங்களை பாதுகாக்காமல் அதை உதாசீனப்படுத்தி நாங்கள் வாழ்க்கையை நடத்தினோமானால் படை போல் எழுந்து எங்களை அழைக்கிறோம். இன்று உலகிலே எத்தனையோ அசம்பாவிதங்கள் நடைபெறுகின்றன. அதற்கெல்லாம் ஒரு காரணமாக இருப்பது எங்களுடைய தெய்வத்தன்மை குன்றியதாலும் அதே நேரத்திலே நாங்கள் இந்த பஞ்சபூதங்களை உதாசீனப்படுத்தினதாலும் என்பதை அப்பர் அந்நாளிலே வலியுறுத்தி சென்றுள்ளார். He was a great reformer. He was actually a social reformer. Particularly important for us to note is that he ridiculed, if I can use the word that way, caste differences. He said, "Aavulittu kundulalum puriyelum Gangeva Sadekkarandharku Anbarahagi Adarthame Namanangam Kadavulade." If they are devotees of Lord Shiva, let them be anybody. Let them be people who skin cows and eat the flesh. Let them be anybody, but as long as they are devotees of Lord Shiva, they are people who we would worship and I would worship. So he cast away the caste differences and explained that it doesn't matter from where they come from, it doesn't matter to what caste they belong, as long as they are devoted to Lord Shiva, they are people who we should worship. So these are some of the characteristics of Upper Swami. Now he was born in the 7th century. This is one problem in our historians. They are not certain about the year. But one thing is certain, that it was probably the time of a king called Mahendra Pallava, who ruled in the 620 centuries AD. So we know roughly that he was in the early to the middle 7th century. And he was born in a village called Thirunavukarasar. And the other point I want to highlight in this short talk is that when we think of Upper, we have to remember, it's easy, if I can put it this way, it's a shortcut for you to remember his life story. You've got to remember 4 names that he had. He was born as Marunikya. He then, I'll tell you at what point, became, with the blessings of Sivaperuman, Thirunavukarasar. Sivaperuman was impressed with his singing, his worship, said, "You are the king of the tongue, of the verse, Thirunavukarasar." Then we spoke about he became Thirunavukarasar, then became Dharmasena, or it's the other way actually, from Marunikya. He was so attracted by Jain and Buddhist philosophies, he actually converted to the Samana religion and became an authority. He was a highly intellectual man, and he became Dharmasena. He went to, I'm supposed to, I think it is Patalipura, whether it's Patalipura in North India or further south, we don't know for sure. But he went to these monasteries, learned the Jain religion, and became a Jain monk. And he was then titled Dharmasena. As I mentioned earlier, the name Thirunavukarasar was when he started singing the praises of Lord Shiva. And then finally, when he met Sambandha saw his seniority and called him Appa. So he became Appa. So these are 4 names that we can recall and we can follow the sequence. Marunikya when he was born, Dharmasena when he started becoming a Jain monk, Thirunavukarasar blessed by Lord Shiva, and Appa when he was fondly addressed as the father by Gnanasambandha Perumal, whom he met. Now, when he was born as Marunikya, very soon he lost his parents, unfortunately. And he was brought up by his sister. The sister was due to marry Kalipahaya. But unfortunately, the Kalipahaya was called to participate in a war, and he died there. So the sister, even before the actual wedding, became someone who was so fond of Kalipahaya, she said she would not marry again. In fact, at one point, she wanted to take her own life. She was so fed up with what had happened. And Marunikya, the brother, pleaded with her and said, "Please don't do that." And then she decided to lead a noble life. And Marunikya, then as I told you, got attracted to the Jain faith and then established his own school of Jainism in Padaripuri. While he was doing that, his sister became very, very anxious that here is a person who should actually follow the Saiva faith, but he has converted, and what is his life going to be? And she prayed to Lord Shiva to bring him back. Lord Shiva, in his usual way, caused a problem. He made Marunikya, or Dharmasedara as he was called now, suffer from intolerable abdominal pain, very severe colicky pain. And the Jains tried all sorts of mantras and tantras, but nothing worked. The sister heard about this, and he went word for the sister. But she said, no, I'm not going to go there. If he wants, let him come here. And in the middle of the night, without many people understanding that, we came back to his sister. And his sister prayed to Lord Shiva and took him to Thirunavukarasar, and it is there that he sang Poojai in a bottle, and our friends will now sing that. And she took the Thirunavukarasar and then applied it on her brother, and like magic, the abdominal pain, he was relieved of the pain. You know, this is demonic. This is as if Yama has come in the form of a disease to me. I haven't really knowingly done anything wrong. Poojai, the one who rides on the bull, Poojai, Adike, Iravum, Papadum, Piriyadu, Vananduvan, Apollo. I am going to worship you day and night. I will not leave Piriyadu, Vananduvan, Apollo. Thochadu in white in Ahambadiye. Ahambadiye is the lower abdomen. Thochadu in white in Ahambadiye, Kudarodu, Tudaki, Mudaki, as if it's someone is twisting the intestines. Arte, I can't bear this. Adiyen, me, your slave. Adhe Kadida Virattanathu Urayamma. That is the essence of that song. And another song that we were taught by Poojai was Perayiram Paravi Vanoretan Pamare Pirivila Adiyar Kandru Radha Selvam Paravipanai Mandiramun Tandiramun Marundumahi Tira Noidane Tirka Vallandan. So that is the solution in his worship, and that is what he had in mind, and that's what he sang. And it is people, when they talk about our saints, they say that when Gnanasambandha Perumal cried on the banks of Shihari, Amman came and gave him milk, and he was captivated by that. And he sang Toruviya Savya. Here, Sulai Noya Kati, Alekati, Ingu Sulai Kati, Ankoda. Then, as you also know, when Sundaramurthy was challenged by him as an old warrior, Ole Karti, you remember, he brought the old deeds and said, "You are my slave. You know, your ancestors have written this in these deeds." And then, as you know, with Manikavasa Swamigal, Kale Karti, Thirupanthurayila, Kurundavaralala, Kale Talayila Vittu, Avare Alekati, Olekati, Sulekati, Alekati. If you want to extend it, Muruva Perumane, Thiruvannamalai, Povathirunda, Kulikkumpozhu, Arunagirinathar, Velekati, you know, Appu. So we were hoping to sing 2 songs, but we will sing one from each section. I think the next one is, so what happened was, because he reconverted to Saivaism, the Pallava king was very annoyed, and all the Jain monks were very annoyed, and they went to the king and complained, "Look, this chap is doing something very different to what he is trained to do. He has forsaken the Jain faith, and he is talking about Lord Shiva. He must be punished." So there were 4 or 5 things that were done to him in the form of torture. One of the first things that they did was they put him in a lime kiln, a furnace. Absolutely, you can imagine the temperature in the furnace. So they put him there and shut him in for a week. And they thought he will perish. But he came out, when they opened to see whether he is still alive, he came out smiling in a blissful state. And what happened there? The light, soothing temperature. Imagine a pond with lotus flowers, and lots of bees are swarming around, making that noise. Moosul Vandarai Poigayum Pondrade Isan Endai Renayadi. The feet of my Lord are similar to all these things, and that is what I experienced. So then, what did the monks do? So they were surprised by this, how he survived it. And then they sent an elephant to attack. And then he sang again. He managed to control the elephant. And he sang another song, which I don't think we are going to sing today. And when that also failed, what they did was they tied him to a huge stone and threw him into the sea. And then he sang a song, which is a very important song that we should sing. So tonight we is in the form of devotional words. Sultunai Vediyan Sodi Vanavan. He is shining as a bright light in the sky. Pottunai Tirundai, the golden feet of Lord Shiva. Porundar Kaitola, for worship. Kattunai Potiyo, if you tie me to a stone and throw me in the sea, Kadale Paichuna, Nakutunai Maheshim. That's the essence of that song. So, repeatedly, I mentioned, I want to tell you about the story about how the elephant came to attack him, and it's important here in the Ghanapathy temple. And Thirunavukarasar in that series has sung about the importance of praying to Lord Ghanapathy when the elephant came to attack him. Padagala Kamattarahi, Padaithaluvar Manathulle, Kalamalakattatthil Ghanapathy ennum kadilum Valavendu irandu sudarum Van Kailaya Malayum Nalamar Kadila Punaram Udayar Oruvar Tamarnam Anjuvadi Yadunduvillai Anjavaru. Be fearless, because we have Lord Ghanapathy, who, when there is an assortment of good and bad, will help us to select the good things and follow that path. Kalamalakattatthilum Ghanapathy ennum kadilum Balamendu, then Lord Shiva has his two eyes are so bright. Van Kailaya Malayum, Mount Kailash, Nalamar Kadila Punaram, Udayar Oruvar Tamarnam. We are only slaves to him. The same sort of song he sang when they came to take him away to the king. Namakam Kudiyallo, Namaneyallo, Narakathilidaparo, Nadalayallo. I'm sure you know that song. So he was such a bold man. He challenged the king, who was trying to annoy him by sending all these people to do various bad deeds. So then we come to a time when he goes in search of Lord Shiva. And he travels from temple to temple, and he goes to North India. And there is a belief that he went to Manasova. And what happened was he was becoming so tired and so weak. He was losing all his muscles. He literally dragged himself on the floor, but still wanting to climb. to see Lord Shiva in Kailash. ஆடும் நாயகன் கைலையில் இருக்க கொண்டல்லால் மாடும் இவ்வுடல் கொண்டு உள்ளேன். He was so determined. And then Lord Shiva took pity on him and said, you don't really need to do this. You go to Tiruvayar and I will come there and show you the same form that I am in Mount Kailash. Malayan, the one who is married to the daughter of the king of the mountains. Poodai is from the flower petals with water. We go to him. Devotees are going to see him, and I will go behind him. Our in Poojai. Yadam Sodapadam. All my wounds would have healed, and I am now in Ayyaru, Thiruvayyar. Kadal Madappudiyodu. It's the same concept that belies Nālasambandha Perumal's Pravaram Pudiyada Rupa. You can think about it, visualizing Shiva in the form of a male elephant and Shakti in the form of a female elephant. Kadal Madappudiyodu Kalilu Varavana Kande. Kanden Avarthirupadam. I saw his holy feet. What I was going to see in Kailash, he has come here, he is graceful. He is so graceful that he has shown it to me here without all that effort for me to go there. I've never seen it like this. In those songs, there are 10 songs. In every song, he talked about this experience, and he shows in terms of beautiful aspects in nature, in terms of the male and the female, animals and birds, and he denotes that. So it's a beautiful poetry. Now I mentioned very briefly Apudi Harikal. That was one of the miracles that he performed. He was in his tours. He went to Tingalur and he met Appodiyadigal. He was surprised to see that everything in Appodiyadigal's home was named after Thirunavukarasar. When he went, it was Thirunavukarasar, Mutha Thirunavukarasar, the senior boy, earlier Thirunavukarasar, number of children named Thirunavukarasar with various prefixes. And even the inanimate things, even the table was called Thirunavukarasar Mesa, Thirunavukarasar Ulakka, Thirunavukarasar Ura. So, Upper Swamigal was perplexed by this, and he inquired, why is this? And he said, look, I've been a lifelong devotee of Thirunavukarasar, and that is why I have done this. And they wanted to, Appodiyadigal and his spouse wanted to offer some fruit to him, and they wanted to do it in the best way. They sent their oldest son to fetch a banana leaf, tall in the banana tree, Kurutur. And he went and cut it, and as he cut it, the snake bit it, and he fell unconscious. And Appodiyadigal and his spouse brought the boy into the house. They didn't tell Upper Swamigal that this had happened. And Upper Swamigal was waiting for the food to be served, and he said, look, I want your older son also here. And they said he'll come, and then finally had to admit that he has been bitten by a snake and he's passed away. So then he sings a song, and he's revived by the grace of our Shiva. One of the miracles that Thirunavukarasar has done. Then of course, Upper Swamigal also met Nagasamanda, the place in Thiruvarakkaru, where the temple had been kept closed for years and wasn't open. And they both sang songs so that the temple opened, and then this temple closed again. So, a number of these miracles, but I don't want to prolong this. So basically, I just want you to remember 4 things. If you want to remember his life history, just remember the 4 names: Marunikya, Dharmasena, Thirunavukarasar, and Upper Swamigal. Remember how devoted he was and his service. Thirunavukarasar said, Vada Thiruthundu. Shelkadar introducing him talks about his service to humanity. Devotional service to humanity as well as physical service in all the temples he visited. And the importance of appreciating that the environment also needs safeguarding, and he was a champion of that too. So I think, I'm sorry that it has been a rushed affair, but I hope you all gained something in the short presentation. Thank you.
Malivaram Surakka Mannan Kon Kurai Arasu Seiga Kurai Piladu Uyirgal Varga Nan Marai Arangal Onga Nattavam Veldi Malga Menmai Kol Saiva Needi Vilanguga Ulagam Ellam.
இன்றைய தினம் திருநாவுக்கரசர் சுவாமிகளுடைய குரு பூஜையிலே அவருடைய வரலாற்றை பொதுவாக புத்தகங்களிலே படித்து தெரிந்து கொள்ளலாம். ஆனால் ஒருவர் சொல்ல கேட்டு அந்த விவரங்கள் மூலமாக வருகின்ற விடயங்களை கிரகித்துக் கொள்வதிலே இருக்கின்ற சிறப்பு மிக உன்னதமானது. ஏனாக இருந்தால் நாவுக்கரசர் எந்தெந்த அற்புதங்கள் செய்தாரோ அந்தந்த அற்புத நிகழ்வுகளில் பாடப்பெற்ற நேரத்திலே பன்னிசை பயின்றவர்கள் மூலமாக அதை கேட்பதும் அந்த வரலாற்றை தெரிந்து கொள்வதும் என்பது எங்களுடைய ஆழ் மனதிலே இலகுவாக பதியக்கூடிய ஒரு விடயம். அந்த விடயத்தை மிகவும் சிறப்பாக திருவாளர் சிவகுமாரன் அவர்கள் மிகச் சிறப்பாக இந்த இடத்திலே தெரிவித்திருந்தார். கிட்டத்தட்ட ஆலயம் நிரம்பி கேட்கக்கூடிய அடியார்கள் இருக்க வேண்டிய நேரத்திலே சொல்ல வேண்டிய விடயங்கள் இவை. இந்த விடயங்களை அடியார்கள் மனதிலே இருத்தி உங்களுடைய குழந்தைகளை உறவினர்களை வரவழைத்து இப்படியான குரு பூஜை நடைபெறுகின்ற நேரங்களிலே தனியே பன்னிசை படிக்கின்ற பொழுது அதனுடைய விடயங்களை தெரிந்து கொள்வதற்கும் நாயன்மார்களுடைய சிறப்புகளை தெரிந்து கொள்வதற்கும் இந்த குரு பூஜைகள் மிகுந்த உதவியாக இருக்கும் என்பதனை இந்த இடத்திலே அடியார்களுக்கு தெரிவித்துக் கொண்டு ஜூன் 4ஆம் தேதி திரு ஞானசம்பந்தருடைய குரு பூஜை தினம். அன்றைய தினமும் திரு ஞானசம்பந்தருடைய வரலாற்று நிகழ்வுகளும் இன்றைய நிகழ்வு போல இடம்பெறும் என்பதனை அடியார்கள் அனைவருக்கும் அறிய தருகின்றோம். பன்னிசை படிப்பவர்களும் உங்களுடைய உறவினர்களையும் அழைத்து வந்து நிரம்ப விடயங்களை தெரிந்து கொள்வதனாலே இப்பொழுது பார்த்தீர்களேயானால் ஓதுவார்மூர்த்தி அவர்கள் முதல் தர மாணவர்கள், இரண்டாம் தர மாணவர்கள் என்று உருவாக்கி கொண்டு வருகின்றார். ஆகவே இனி ஒவ்வொருவராக ஆலயத்துக்கு வரவழைத்து அவர்களும் இந்த பன்னிசையை பயின்று கொள்ள வேண்டும் என்பதனையும் ஒரு வேண்டுதலாக வைத்து அடுத்த குரு பூஜைகளிலும் கலந்து கொண்டு சிறப்பிக்க வேண்டும் என்று அடியார்கள் அனைவரையும் அன்புடன் கேட்டுக்கொள்கின்றோம். நம பார்வதி பதகே.
परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ओम वाक्ये सविद्महे इंद्रिये धीमहि तन्नो वाणी प्रचोदयात्। பற்றும் வைர படைவாள் வைர பகைவர் கமனாக எடுத்தவளே வெட்டாத வருவாய் மாதா ஜெய ஓம் லலிதாம்பிகையே 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 மூலக்கனலே சரணம் சரணம் முனியா முதலே சரணம் சரணம் கோலக்குடியே சரணம் சரணம் குன்றாத ஒளி குவையே சரணம் மாதா ஜெய ஓம் லலிதாம்பிகையே மாதா ஜெய ஓம் லலிதாம்பிகையே மாதா ஜெய ஓம் லலிதாம்பிகையே மாதா ஜெய ஓம் லலிதாம்பிகையே மரகத வடிவே சரணம் சரணம் வசிதவதமே சரணம் சரணம் துரவதி படியே திருமாயாடியே மொழியும் திறமும் கோமேதகமே குளிர்வான் நிலவே கொள்வாய் மொழியே வருவாய் தருவாய் மாமேருயிலே வடகோகிலமே மாதா ஜெய ஓம் லலிதாம்பிகையே 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 ரஞ்சனி நந்தினி அங்கணி பதுமன ராகவிகாச வியாபினி அம்பா சஞ்சல ரோக நிவாரணி வாணி சம்பவி சந்திர கலாதரி ராணி அஞ்சன மேரி Om Shri Jaya 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 Sakti. இரண்டுகள் போக மூன்றுகள் அகல ஈஸ்வரி வரமருள்வாய். அம்மம்மா ஈஸ்வரி வரமருள்வாய். கரம் குவித்தோம்